Creamers. It's me, Sammy Daddy.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Boy, do we have a wrestling-filled Saturday to talk about. I'm going to give my predictions for both Worlds Collide and WWE Money in the Bank. Let's get into it. The first show of the day will be the WWE AAA event, Worlds Collide.
Now this is what it's like when worlds collide!
I think the main purpose of this pay-per-view, obviously, is to show off some of the new talent from AAA, from the acquisition that WWE announced of the company at WrestleMania. But it's still going to be fun. As you can see from behind me here, I like Lucha Libre.
I like it a lot.
I like it with a childlike wonder. I like the masks, the colors, the high-flying nature of the superstars, the flips.
Do a flip!
And you should enjoy it too, because I know I will. I am familiar with some of the superstars. I know Phoenix will be on this pay-per-view. Obviously, he's on SmackDown and stuff like that. But still, Aerostar will be on this pay-per-view. Oh, PLE. Sorry, TKO.
Off is a direction you can fuck!
But a lot of them, at least from AAA, I'm not super familiar with. And a lot of the WWE talent on this PLE is talent that isn't utilized a lot or not in the biggest storylines going on. So it'll be good for everybody involved.
What do you mean everybody? Everybody!
One of two six-man tag matches is the LWO's Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro with Lince Dorado facing AAA's Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. I'm not super familiar with Octagon Jr. or Mr. Iguana. Obviously, as I said, Aerostar, he was on Lucha Underground, somebody I know. The guys from WWE I'm at least a little bit familiar with. But for that match, I think the AAA team will take it. I think it's going to be exactly what you would expect for a pay-per-view involving AAA. It's going to be the Lucha Libre, the jumping around, the flying around. I'm going to assume the match is done under those Lucha Libre rules where you don't really need to make a tag. You can just kind of slide in and slide out, and it kind of lets the action flow, and you can have fun with it. But I think this is going to be the introduction. I think this might be the first match on the show. I'm not sure. But it'll be fun to see these guys on that stage with a crowd that I think is really going to be into it. Let's go Team AAA on that one. For the women's portion of this event, we have Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice facing Cheek Tormenta,
Jay Quallen,
and Dallas.
Balake.
Hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. I'm sure these are all women that we're going to be a lot more familiar with after this event. But with Stephanie Vaquer performing later on Money in the Bank, there's no way I see her team losing. So, and with her recent call-up to Raw and just her pure star power that everybody seems to see, I think it's going to... She will be the star of that match, but everyone will have their moment to shine. So let's go... We'll call it Team WWE for that one. Your other six-man tag team match will be Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, and Hell and Berto facing El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., which translates to Dr. Wagner's son's son, Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Those are three. On the AAA side, I'm not super familiar with. Psycho Clown has been doing this for a long time at a top level there, so I have seen some stuff. But this is another one that I think will be what you expect from a show like this. Again, I assume it's under the more lucha Mexican style rules, and I think the AAA team takes that one as well.
All I do is win, win, win.
There's been the storyline between Santos and Berto going at it, showing some cracks in that faction. And I think if this isn't the official end, it's going to be one step closer. I think because of the stage it's on, there's going to be a lot of eyes. Make this be the thing, and maybe Berto goes on to do a little bit more AAA, but it lets him spread his wings and fly. Fly, fly, Berto. Fly, fly.
Fly, fly.
while this show is being presented by WWE and AAA, NXT is represented with the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT North American Championship that is currently held by All Ego Ethan Page. He'll be going up against Rey Fenix, Laredo Kid, and his rival Javon Evans. I can see Javon, Phoenix, and Laredo Kid really going out there and putting on a show, and then Ethan Page being a sneaky snake.
I'm a slither little sneaky snake.
And just getting in there, stealing the win off of somebody's hard work, and acting like he's the greatest thing in the world. He did just win the belt from Ricky Saints. I don't know if that's going to lead to another match with them, if Ricky Saints is going to the main roster. That's a topic for another video on another day, but I think Ethan Page leaves with the belt.
If you leave me down, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, girl, baby, please come home.
And what I assume to be your main event for the AAA Mega Championship. The newly crowned El Hijo de Vikingo is facing Chad Gable, known Lucha Libre hater.
I just hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
I think this will be a fantastic match. Vikingo is somebody that, since the acquisition of AAA by WWE, has been featured prominently, we'll say. At least in the crowd, he did get a little physical with Chad Gable here and there. So I think there's no reason why the belt wouldn't be on him, and he will be the face of AAA for WWE, if that makes sense. He had a little bit of time in AEW. I know he made the rounds on the independents here in America, and the dude's awesome. He's exactly what you think of when you think of Lucha Libre and that style of wrestling. Fast-paced flips, almost to the point of you worry that he's going to hurt himself, but he seems to be okay, knows what he's doing. Going to beat Chad Gable.
Man, be careful, whatever you're going to do, Vikingo. Oh my God!
Those are the predictions for Worlds Collide, but let's get to WWE Money in the Bank. One of the biggest pay-per-views WWE puts on every year, probably outside of WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble, the most fantasy booked thing, just because of the implications of having that briefcase, having that Money in the Bank win, being able to challenge for any title you want at any time you want. But there's also two other matches. One of them being Lyra Valkyria
Nice.
against Becky Lynch in a last chance match? Last chance stipulation? I don't know what you call it. If Becky Lynch loses, she cannot challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship as long as Lyra is champion. And if Lyra loses, she must raise Becky Lynch's hand and admit that she's the better woman. I think from what I see online, a lot of people think Becky's going to win. There seems to be some animosity towards the man, thinking that she's kind of calling her shot, taking a spot maybe other people deserve, stuff like that. And that she's not going to lose twice. I think she is going to lose. I think Lyra wins. I think this feud can continue in different ways, and it will down the line as well. But I think Lyra walks out of Money in the Bank with her Women's Intercontinental Championship. Your other non-Money in the Bank match is Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso facing against that dastardly devil John Cena and Logan Paul.
Okay, Internet, this is unbelievable. You're never going to believe it.
I don't see this one shaking out any other way than the bad guys winning. I mean, maybe Cody or Jey are able to take control during some chaos and get the win over Logan Paul type of thing, but John Cena and Logan Paul will stoop to any level to win. Jay's not there. Maybe Cody's teetering on that. It's obviously been brought up. He'll, if he gets a shot at John Cena, he's going to take it no matter what type of thing, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't see John Cena losing, even if it's his partner losing. So we're going to go bad guys on that one.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Your women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Combatants are Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Stephanie Vakir, and Naomi. There's a website on the internet that you can gamble on wrestling that I'm not going to bother to look up the name of because they don't sponsor the show. Unless they want to, then I'd be happy to. that has Naomi as the favorite. I could understand that. I think when I look at matches like this and I try to think about who I'm going to win or predict who's going to win, I try to take out who I think won't win. Makes it a little easier, shrinks it down, better odds, whatever you want to call it. As much as I like Stephanie Vakir, I don't think she's going to win here. For the same reason I don't think Julia or Roxanne will win. Just because they're so fresh of call-ups to the main roster, they don't necessarily need it yet. I don't think it's like a paying your dues thing. I think it's more of just, let's get familiar, let's get to know them a little bit more, at least as the main roster goes. I also think Stephanie's going to win the Royal Rumble in 2026, so she doesn't really need it right now. Alexa Bliss, I really don't know what's going on with that. I know she's hanging out with Charlotte or whatever, but I just don't see that as an option. Not this year. So that leaves us with Naomi and Rhea Ripley, who I think are the two that make the most sense as far as storyline goes. I am guessing Naomi, Bianca, Rhea, Liv, but then Roxanne is part of the Liv thing, so does that come into it? I don't know.
Oh, just pick something already!
I will go with the betting odds and the favorite to win, with my pick being officially Naomi. I'm not... If I did use that gambling website, I don't know if I'd put a lot of money on it, but that's who we're going to go with.
And finally...
And then the male Money in the Bank ladder match will be involving Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano.
Well, we're waiting.
I have a pick off the beaten path on this one for sure. I believe Seth Rollins is the favorite, and that would absolutely make sense to me with the way his faction is going and who would be more of a threat to any champion than the guy that has Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman on his side. So it would make sense if Seth Rollins won, but get rid of who we think won't. I don't see LA Knight winning it. Maybe if it was a year ago, but just not now. Same goes for Andrade. I think he'll do fantastic. He'll definitely have something that we all talk about. Same thing could probably happen for El Grande Americano and Penta, but I just don't see them being the ones to win the match. Seth Rollins, storyline-wise, does make the most sense, but the one I think could be the most intriguing is Solo Sikoa. We've seen, obviously, to much criticism, Austin Theory win the Money in the Bank and cash it in unsuccessfully for a United States title shot. But with Solo having the Money in the Bank, could he kind of hold that over Jacob's head? Or treat it like it's even more important than Jacob's belt? I really think that the story that could go with and the way Solo's been acting, especially with Jeff Cobb, what's his name? JC? Jesus Christ Mateo on the team. It could be very interesting to see that. So I'm going to officially pick Solo Sikoa. I'm acknowledging him as Mr. Money in the Bank.
Acknowledge.
What do you think? Was I right on everything? Was I wrong on everything? Who do you want to see win? Who do you want to see with the Money in the Bank briefcase? Do you think there'll be a cash-in at the event? Monday? SummerSlam? Will they hold it to WrestleMania? What belt are they going to challenge for? What are we doing? Are there horse socks?
Is anybody listening to me?
My name is Sammy Daddy. Follow me on social media. Is that Sammy Daddy? Follow the show on social media. WrestleCream. And don't forget, I love you. And I wish you the best.